Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is September the 9th, 2018. Strong hand, long-term thinking, deferral of gratification. It is Erev Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is about to start here on the East Coast in very soon. I'm about to have dinner with my family. Look at this location. Where am I? I'm in a chair, actually. Anyway, already I know in Great Britain, in Israel, and South Africa, you're already doing your Rosh Hashanah thing, so you're not watching now. If you are Jewish, you know that tomorrow, Monday, I will not be doing the show. And even if you're not Jewish, you know that. But if you are not Jewish, watch yesterday's show on Monday. Watch Friday's This Week in Bitcoin show on Monday, when Adam's not going to do a live show this Monday. I will be back on Tuesday night once Rosh Hashanah is over, and there will be shows again. But for all you non-Jewish people out there, on Monday, please watch the archives, disruptmeister.com. Check out the links below. If you're watching this live, I haven't put all the show links in yet, everything I'm going to be talking about in the show. But by the time you all watch this, everything will be updated. But you're watching this live, sorry, some links aren't there yet. And get your look at this. I'm wearing a t-shirt. You can get your Trezor, all sorts of affiliate links listed below. You can also go to my Steemit page, Bitcoin Meister. There are more t-shirt things listed below. And yes, if you are Jewish, don't watch Adam's show. Go to synagogue on Monday. It's a good experience. All right. Okay, and that's where I'll be. I'll be at the Chabad in Owings Mills if you're Jewish and you want to see where I pray. Okay, let's jump into it. And Chabad are just the best Jews out there, man. They are rocking it. They really are. Pound that freaking like button for Chabad, and Happy New Year, Rosh Hashanah, everything, baby. All right, so Hoffman line strong. Andy Hoffman. Andy Hoffman is he's got an article about the Hoffman line again. If you fiat freaks out there, I just wanted to point. It's been strong. The Hoffman line's been strong. If for those of you not familiar, we'll check out Andy's article, obviously. But that's the $100 billion market cap of Bitcoin. Stays the same. It doesn't go below $5,800, which would make it below the market cap lower than that. Hey. But again, one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin to me. And, I want to point out Josh Kohout in the super chat. He said something great. And thank you for Josh for the contribution. Less NFL, more Bitcoin. And yeah, apparently today is opening NFL day. There are people where I am right now watching the freaking Ravens game, or maybe the Ravens game is over by now, I guess. I have no idea. I don't even know if it was a home game or who the Ravens played. That's how far I've taken myself away from the NFL. It started exactly 2 years ago, right before I was in Las Vegas with my friends. Check out the archives from 2 years ago. Anyway, I was fed up with the NFL. I said, no more NFL. My Lord, have I spent my time on so many better things in the NFL since then. My whole life has changed in such a positive way, getting away from the bread and circuses of that. And again, I was a huge Ravens fan. I knew every statistic on the face of the planet for a while. So yeah, it's those of you who are putting a lot of your wealth in the NFL, value your wealth in Bitcoin. Learn more about Bitcoin instead of wasting your time on that bread and circuses stuff. If you must, just try to minimize your time with it, I guess. Just, watch the game and then run away or something. I mean, if you get into the mind-numbing aspects of these guys telling you how to think politically, I mean, that you even care about politics that much to care what they think about is ridiculous too. Those are all distractions. Politics, NFL, Bitcoin, strong hand, that's the real thing. All right. So, Josh, thank you very much for that. What else do we have here? I mentioned the Andy Hoffman thing. Yeah, the Hoffman line, of course. Sorry. Here is something that I know a lot of you always talk about, the we're going to have hyperinflation. Everyone will switch to Bitcoin. fiat currency will be dead. The dollar will die, blah, 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 blah. And I have always said, no, the dollar is going to survive. The smart people will, the 20%ers are going to opt in to Bitcoin. And I don't think that's what's wrong with that. But here's a tweet from Dan Held. The British pound is the oldest fiat currency in existence. At 317 years, the pound was originally defined as 12 ounces of silver. It's now worth less than 0.5% of its original value. In other words, the most successful long-standing currency in existence has lost 99.5% of its value. So yeah, fiat is bad. If you did not diversify yourselves into other monetary mechanisms, whether it be housing or stocks or gold or whatever, if you're 317 years old, you would have done pretty bad by just holding that. I mean, again, if you were passing on your wealth, let's say you were a rich person back then, and you ordered all your relatives for, I'm going to keep on passing down. You got to pass on fiat from generation to generation. They would not be doing very well at all. Okay. But my point is this, is that they say that's the best of the best is the British pound. It's lost 99.5% of its value. And the dollar is similar to that over a shorter period of time. And people accept it. Most people are like, they're cool with that. They'd rather watch the NFL. They're happy. They're happy with that. And so that is going to continue with the dollar. That type of inflation is going to continue with the dollar. You can scream about it and say, oh, the money printing is horrible. Woe is me. I'm smarter than everyone else. I'm just sitting around complaining. I'm not a bread and circuses guy. No, you just can't talk. You got to walk. And to walk, you opt into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin can do great, and the dollar can survive, and it can, over 100-year period, keep on inflating away. And all the bread and circuses people can be happy because they have the big screen TV. They watch the Ravens. They watch the Redskins. They watch whoever. So again, fiat will survive. It's survived like this. The British pound still exists, and it's well respected across the world. It's no dollar anymore. And again, the dollar will remain, I think, the top fiat. Not that it matters. The top of the trash heap. We're describing a trash heap here, basically, in this tweet. And 80%ers love to play in the trash heap, and that will continue. And maybe and then some will have Bitcoin, and they'll stumble their way into Bitcoin. It's going to be so easy to get into Bitcoin eventually. Yeah, they'll be into that too, but they'll still be into they'll luck into it, basically. But there'll be plenty of people that'll be like, oh, this Fed coin, which is will be the dollar. It's much more convenient. I'll just play with Fed coin instead of Bitcoin. Okay, enough. But again, those of you that say fiat is, look how hard. That's an example of how horrible it is. Yeah, that tweet is an example of how horrible it is. But people have. You have to admit that everyone has loved it. So many people have loved it. It's the welfare dollar. It powers the welfare state. They're not going to just run away from it and say, no, I'm going to get into Bitcoin. No, there are plenty of people that have a lot vested in the fiat system, whether they be on welfare, whether they be in politics, whether they work for the government, and they'll deal with it. They will love the inflation of it all because they'll have their NFL. Okay. So let's talk about crypto dividend section of the show, like button. Or you can skip this part if you hate crypto dividends, which some people just want to vomit when they think about another coin other than Bitcoin that I got for free. Anyway, so Be Private has an update out there. I linked to it below. It's about the rebase. You're going to keep on hearing about this rebase thing. I'm sure some people will pump it on it. It's actually something that's legitimate. Updating to the latest 0.16 version of Bitcoin code base truly makes Be Private a Bitcoin fork, not just, but instance, because it was a Z Classic fork. Read all about it if you want to, what this rebase thing is. It's linked to below. Andy Hoffman has a B Rhodium Steemit tweet, Steemit article out there. If you want to hear the B Rhodium is coming soon, if you want that. Again, Be Private. Everyone is entitled to that if they held Bitcoin at the time of the fork. and Rhodium, everyone is entitled to that who signed up for the airdrop back in December or January and everything. These are free, again, they're one-time dividends of Bitcoin. They're free coins that you got just by holding Bitcoin. And baby, it's just one of the great things about holding Bitcoin that I encourage holding Bitcoin. As you all know, you get these crypto dividends, and sure, they're not as popular as they once were. It's all cyclical. Something will come up again. Anyway, I've been around this game for a while. It all comes around again. So yes, a new show here every day except tomorrow. DisruptMeister.com. Check it out. You can see all my old shows. Again, I mentioned the Trezor and CryptoHWWallet.com links below. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. You know, I say it all the time. And here is a tweet that really puts it in perspective. And again, that tweet about fiat going down the tube, about the British pound going down the tube, that's another reason why you have to value your wealth in Bitcoin. Don't be valuing it in fiat. Fiat will survive, but value it in Bitcoin. But here's a better example. This is from Matt Odell. Okay, and you got to check out this tweet. It will be linked to below when you watch this on repeat. And if you're watching this live, you're not going to be able to, but check out that. Okay, if you put 10 Bitcoin into X 90 days ago, you now have how many Bitcoin worth of X, okay? So the first example is if you put 10 Bitcoin into Ethereum 90 days ago, you now have 4.2 Bitcoin worth of Ethereum. So if you would have just held your 10 Bitcoin, you'd have your 10 Bitcoin. But no, you bought Ethereum 90 days ago. Now you have 4.2 Bitcoin worth of it. And here's the rest of them. Again, 10 Bitcoin you put into these coins. This is what these coins are now worth. Your 10 Bitcoin is now worth in terms of Bitcoin sitting around in these coins. For Stellar, 8.6. For Ripple, 5.2. For Bcash, 5.4. For EOS, 4.3. Litecoin, 5.5. Tezos, 3. Dash, 7.7. Cardano, 4.8. Zcash, 6.5. ETC 8.9, Monero 8.3, Tron 4.3. Okay, I'm not even going Neo 4.4, IOTA 4.2. All right, that's again. But some people are like, well, I still made a lot of dollars. I still did pretty well. I only lost X amount of that. Look how much you would have just. That's how much better it would have been just holding on to that 10 Bitcoin. Losing 5 Bitcoin by playing around in these cryptocurrencies, ridiculous. That is the ultimate example of valuing your wealth in Bitcoin. Do not get distracted by their dollar amount, how much they're worth in dollars. You got to think, I'd be so much better off if I had just held my Bitcoin instead of playing around. And again, people are, well, I could time it right, Adam. I could time. You're giving me a 90-day. That's an arbitrary time. Dude, you're talking about arbitrary time periods? Let's talk about the 2020 halving. Let's talk about 2020. Let's talk about really long-term thinking here, people. I'm giving you a short-term arbitrary time period. Long-term time period, it's going to be much worse for these altcoins, okay? And it has been much worse. Again, Bitcoin is the rock. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. There's your ultimate example. I even put it in the title of the show. All right. Matt Odell has another tweet, and this is about Ethereum. And this is a very interesting thing about Ethereum because Ethereum obviously pumped up a lot with all the ICOs. And the reason these ICOs people were getting into them partially is because people had done really well on Ethereum. So some of these Ethereum holders were like, let me diversify into these ICOs. And it added to the 2017 altcoin pump. And he says the 2017 pump wouldn't have been nearly as large if the idiots who sent their money to the DAO lost it all rather than getting bailed out. They didn't learn their lesson then, and it has finally caught up with them. Unfortunately, retail got burned along the way. All right. Interesting point. The DAO, again, many of you were not around in 2016. There was this smart contract DAO that all these major Ethereum people had invested Ethereum in. It got hacked. They lost their Ethereum, but Vitalik and the crew decided, hey, we're just going to hard fork it and erase that this DAO thing ever happened. So everyone will get their Ethereum. Lots of people were like, yay. Then there were some people that were like, this is a horrible precedent. It's just going to lead to disaster. And they kept the original chain going, which was Ethereum Classic. So that's why we have an Ethereum Classic and Ethereum. But all those people that got bailed out, they didn't learn a lesson. It is true. And they enjoyed their Ethereum riches. And a lot of them, they played it. They gambled again. They gambled again, invested in ICOs. And now it's finally catching up with them. But so it would have been very interesting to see if this ICO bubble or Ethereum bubble or whatever you want to say would have been as large had the DAO bailout not happened. Interesting point, Matt Odell, there. Just a little bit of history there. I know a lot of people weren't around in 2016. As shocking as it sounds to me, it's been over 2 years since that DAO thing, since that Ethereum Classic wild day. Okay, Whale Panda says, anyone selling / closing their wrecked crypto fund yet? That'll be the bottom. I thought that was excellent. Yes, once you hear that some crypto hedge fund, I don't even know how anyone can participate in these freaking crypto. I created a crypto fund. Give me your Bitcoin and I'll diversify for you. Once one of those like announces like we're selling or we're going out of business, closing, that'll be the bottom of the altcoin market. I think that's a good sign for the bottom of the altcoin market. For those who care about the bottom of the altcoin market, I personally don't care at all. And again, I mean, one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin, people. All right, Bitcoin Magazine has an article. It's the Battle of the Privacy Coins. This is by Aaron Von Weirdum. He's going to do a lot of these. Battle of the Privacy Coins. Why Dash is not really that private. So it started with his first privacy coin that he is dealing with is Dash. And oh yeah, also going back to Vitalik and Ethereum, apparently Vitalik said some stuff about Ethereum that was bad, and it's gone down in dollar value even more and in Bitcoin value even more. You know, I'm not going to get caught up in the drama, people. I'm going to tell you one thing, though. It's all cyclical with this. Everyone thinks Ethereum is dead forever now. Even Vitalik is saying bad things about it. These corporations are in love. They want to be involved with the next Bitcoin. They're going to be people that are going to pile right back into Ethereum again. I mean, look, Coinbase lists Ethereum prominently. People do not understand what Ethereum, again, Ethereum is not supposed to be a competitor with Bitcoin. It's not doing well in terms of its value, in terms of Bitcoin and dollars. And I've seen this happen before. There have been times it's gone down and it's gone way back up again. There are big centralized players that are behind it that aren't going to let it fail. There are a lot of 80%ers out there that'll pile right into it. There'll be a flippening maybe threat again in the future. No, there won't be a true threat, but people will throw that term out there again. It's all cyclical. Ethereum is not dead, people. It's not dead. I know a lot of people want it to be dead. I don't know why you want it to be dead. You should just, if you're that big of a Bitcoin fan, just talk about the good things about Bitcoin. Don't worry about Ethereum. I'm not worried about Ethereum. I'm just pointing out that it's all cyclical, and there's a lot of doom and gloom coming from the Ethereum people, Ethereum land. It will return in terms of its fiat price and its Bitcoin. I mean, I don't know if it'll ever be a 10% of a Bitcoin again, but it'll go back up again. It's not dying. It's not disappearing off the face of the earth. That's it. Okay, everybody. Have a great Rosh Hashanah. Happy New Year, everyone. Again, no show tomorrow. I will be at synagogue. It will be Rosh Hashanah. Once Rosh Hashanah is over on Tuesday, I will do my show on Tuesday night. Happy New Year to everyone. And again, check out the archives if you want to watch my show tomorrow. Pound that like button. I will say hello to everyone in the chat before I have a meal with my family here. Thanks a lot, everybody.